Hey everyone, welcome to DevRunner. My name is Paul. I'm an endurance runner and certified running coach, and this is episode 4 of 245 at 52. In this series, I'm detailing my training as I build towards a 2-hour and 45-minute marathon attempt, which is going to take place on December 11th at the Kiawah Island Marathon in South Carolina. Along the way, I'll be sharing all of my successes and failures to help you become a healthier, stronger, and faster runner yourself. And this week, I'm going to be talking about my training from August 30th through September 5th. So let's get on with it. Here we go. Alright, so this past week for me was a down week, which basically means I ran fewer miles this week to give my body a chance to recover from the first 3 weeks of intense training. So with the extra time on my hands, I had an opportunity to reflect on the first 3 weeks of my training and how it treated my body, how I reacted, and if I wanted to make any adjustments to the way I am training. And in fact, that is what I'm going to do going forward. Starting next week, you'll notice a difference in the weekly structure of my training. It's going to be a little bit more straightforward, and in fact it's going to reflect a lot more closely the type of training I did for my half marathon, where I followed a plan that I designed myself, and that training plan gave me a great balance of intense workouts with rest in between, so that I was actually able to move faster than I ever have for a longer distance. So with this week off, I finally decided in week 5 I'm going to return to that style of training and see how it goes in the marathon as a result. You know, I think it's time for me to have confidence in my abilities as a coach and as a training plan designer. So buckle up, folks. This training is off in a new direction. We're going to see how it goes as time goes by. All right, so let's get right into the details of last week's workouts. Please forgive me. I'm going to look down at my phone so I don't forget any of the details. So for all of you who have been following this series up till now, you'll know that every single run of this training series so far has been on my treadmill. And you'll be happy to hear that I did break away from the treadmill for one run in this past week, and that was my long run, which actually took place on Saturday instead of Sunday. And that's for some very good reasons, which I will detail in just a moment. But starting off with Monday, August 30th, I did a 7-mile easy run on the treadmill. And that was just at 7.5 miles per hour or 8-minute miles, and just cruised the whole thing, and that was that. Now, because this was a lower mileage recovery week for me, on Tuesday, August 31st, I just ran an 8-mile run on the treadmill, and that consisted of a 2.6-mile ramp up to 8.8 miles per hour or 648 miles. And then I proceeded with some treadmill intervals, if you will. I did 2 by 200 meters at 10.5 miles per hour. Then I did 2 by 400 meters at 10 miles per hour. And then followed that up with an 800 meter interval at 9.5 miles per hour. And then I finished off the last 3 miles at my recovery pace, which was 7.5 miles per hour or 8-minute miles. On Wednesday, September 1st, I did another 8-mile run on the treadmill. I completed the run in 58 minutes and 45 seconds. And the plan there was to ramp up to 8.8 miles per hour, which I did over the first 2.6 miles again, 648 miles. And found it because of the residual fatigue that I had from the first 3 weeks of training and just the heat in the house. It was actually 76 degrees in my house. For some reason, the AC unit was having issues trying to keep up with the 102-degree weather and high humidity. And we just couldn't get the temperature in the house down. And so it was hot. And with that kind of heat in the house, I was unable to sustain the speed. So I dropped it down to 8.3 miles per hour and then just cruised out the rest of the run. Needless to say, I was not happy with the results of that run, but you know, looking back now a few days later, I see it as a necessary thing. Obviously, my body was tired despite the heat, so take it for what it is. I'm not going to beat myself up over it. It is what it is. Come back next time and try again, right? So on Thursday, September 2nd, I got back up on the treadmill for an 8-miler, and I finished that run in 1 hour and 4 minutes. And I was wearing a brand new pair of Saucony Zealot 3s for that run. I felt like my body just needed something extra, some extra protection, some extra squish in order to let my muscles and my joints, my ligaments, etc., a better chance to recover. So I ran that at an 8:07 pace, apparently, according to the watch. And I finally, after a full week of not feeling great, just kind of going through the runs, but always feeling just kind of blah, just kind of flat. Thursday was the first time I actually felt good on a run, even though it was a slow recovery run. I finally felt like there was a little pop, a little zip in my step again. So finally, felt a little bit better in my soul about running. And that's a very important thing, as I'm sure you all know. Now, Friday, September 3rd for me, believe it or not, was a day off of running completely. You know, even though I felt good on Thursday for the first time, like I said, in days, knowing that I was going into my long run on Saturday, I wanted to give my body a rest. I just didn't see the point in beating myself up on a down week just to end up having to go into next week with hard workouts again, just feeling just raw and worn out. So I just took the day knowing that I was going to get up in the wee hours of Saturday morning, drive all the way to South Carolina, because folks, I did my long run in South Carolina, not by myself, but with Michael Bartlett and Jack Stevenson, who, if you follow my other series on my channel called Chasing PRs, you know those guys are being coached by me, and they are chasing a 1:35 half marathon goal, which they are going to run at the Myrtle Beach Mini Marathon on October 17th. So this was an important run for them because they were running 13.1 miles with 6 of those miles at half marathon pace. So I thought, what better time to go down, accompany those guys on their run, make sure that they ran it as a proper progression run, and gave them the boost they need. Hopefully it was a boost that they needed to get the run done right. And it was a bit of a workout for me, I must confess. It was 13.1 miles, like I said. And I ran the first 5 miles with Michael, and we ran those at a very easy pace, like between 9 and 9:30 per mile. And the run finally took us to a park where we kind of converged with Jack. And when we finally saw Jack in the distance, I kind of took off from Michael, caught up to Jack, ran about 4 miles with him, and I'm really glad to say that he was running those right there on pace. Despite the heat, despite the humidity, he was doing a great job of running 7:15s, between 7:15 and 7:20 a mile. So I kept up with him, gave him the rahs that he needed. And then once he was finished, because he was a couple of miles ahead of Michael and I, found my way back to Michael in the park and finished out the run for him. And Michael had a wonderful day as well. Really proud of both of these guys. They're doing very well. And I want to encourage you to find that series on my channel. Again, it's called Chasing PRs. And you can find that series right here. Now, with that said, folks, on Sunday, I did an easy run here at the house on the treadmill, and that was an 8-miler run easy at 7.5 miles per hour, which is, again, 8 minutes per mile pace. So that does it for my running on the down week, but I'm happy to say my down week, though it took a few days to kick in, definitely recharged the batteries, and I'm ready to go for week 5. So to cover all the other topics that I talk about every week, as far as nutrition goes, I'm definitely dialing it in. Spent a lot more time thinking about the kind of things I needed to eat in order to stay healthy, but also drop weight. And I'm happy to report I've dropped 1.4 pounds in the past week, which puts me at 147.4 pounds, down 3 pounds in total since we began this odyssey. So good news there. Now, as far as my daily core routines went in the past week, I'm happy to say that I got in all 7, and I attribute that to the fact that I always do them first thing in the morning. Literally, roll out of bed, hit the floor, and spend 20 to 25 minutes just getting it done so that nothing has a chance to become a distraction before I can get that most important workout of the day in. Now, another great piece of news that I can report to you is that my free weight workouts that I like to do on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, ideally, I have never yet done it 3 times in a week in this training block, but during my recovery week, I did manage to get them all in, and I did not feel bad. They actually really went smooth. Everything felt great. So, like I said earlier, as far as the easy runs this week, it's all starting to pay off. I feel recharged. I feel ready to go. And folks, I really appreciate you following along. If you've got any encouragement, if you've got any questions or comments, please leave them below so that everybody who watches this series can benefit from your thoughts. And please don't forget to like this video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and ding that bell so that you get notifications every time I post something new. And let me just say it again, I really appreciate everybody who follows along with this series and everything I do on my channel. It's just very inspirational, very motivational to know that there are people out there who are finding value in my content. So thank you very much, everyone. I'll catch you next week. Peace out. Catch you later.